Yeah, I think Kristi Noem should have consequences. I think she should be tried at The Hague. What we are seeing from her operation are crimes against humanity. And if the response from ICE to people exercising their First Amendment right is to drive vehicles through them, is to shoot them, is to put a stationary gun on top of a roof, as we saw today, they shouldn't be allowed to operate. If that is what their operations entail, they should not be an agency in the United States.
A few moments later.
There was an indictment that came out today, and we want to tell you about that. Kat Abughazaleh, she's a high-profile congressional candidate in the 9th District. She and others are listed in an indictment here. The protesters are accused of trying to block vehicles from entering the Broadview ICE facility in September. Video of agents throwing her to the ground went viral. The indictment alleges that she and other protesters blocked a federal agent's vehicle on September 26th, that they banged on it and etched the word pig into the paint. They allegedly broke a side view mirror and a wiper blade. They're accused of interfering with a federal agent's official duties. It was one of the days that agents deployed tear gas and pepper balls at protesters outside of that Broadview facility. Abughazaleh announced the indictment on her social media.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about yet again another episode of F Around and Find Out, featuring Socialist Democrat who's running for Congress, Kat Abughazaleh. I believe that's how you pronounce her last name, even though I don't know. I'm probably mispronouncing it. I'm probably not pronouncing it right. I know how you guys like to make fun of me. You like to laugh at me in the comment section when I mispronounce words, which is all good, right? I laugh at myself all the time, right? So you guys can make fun of me. I make fun of myself all the time, right? It's great. It's awesome, right? So because of that, I'm going to call her Kat Abughazaleh, right? Because I don't know how to pronounce her last name. So Socialist here, Kat Abughazaleh, right? She is now facing a federal indictment because of the fact that she decided that she wanted to, again, obstruct ICE. We've talked about these lunatics outside of Chicago who are showing up to the ICE facility, and they're literally in front of vehicles. The ICE vehicles, they're not letting the ICE vehicles leave the facility, okay? And the Trump DOJ has decided to charge these individuals, okay? They have basically laid down a hammer, right, on these lunatics, these radicals who were participating in these riots and protests. And I want to talk about it because she's lashing out. She's melting down, boo-hoo, crying about her free speech. My free speech is under attack. So I want to react to it. But before we get into it, I want to go ahead and play a few clips here so you guys can get a better understanding of the situation, what the Trump administration is doing, and go from there. So without further ado, roll the clips.
Protesters, including members of an organization named VC Defensa, came to the site of the search warrants. VC Defensa is an organization that operates and manages what they call a rapid response network designed to impede federal agents and their enforcement operations. And that warrant is what you see on the camera there at the marijuana farm where the agents were attempting to leave. In one of the criminal complaints today, we are charging 2 members of VC Defensa for conspiring to impede and injure federal law enforcement officers. These 2 VC Defensa members went to the protests on July 10th in Ventura County and acted with others to assault enforcement vehicles and officers. One of the members charged in the complaint used her vehicle to block U.S. government vehicles from leaving the location, while another member and others ambushed the vehicles by throwing rocks at them, and those images went viral. Several government vehicles were damaged, and a federal contract employee was injured as a rock went through her vehicle window, shattering the glass and striking her. And you're going to hear more about that case here shortly. Separately, in another incident that you also see on the TV here, on June 8th in downtown Los Angeles Civic Center, a group of agitators used the protests as an excuse to throw rocks, bottles, and other objects at officers, injuring several of them. Government and private property were vandalized. Los Angeles police declared an unlawful assembly, yet the violence continued. 9 of the defendants charged in that second criminal complaint were filmed on cell phones by local news and other media. throwing rocks, bottles, and objects, including objects on fire, from an overpass on Main and Los Angeles Street here in downtown LA onto the CHP officers and their vehicles.
Federal charges have been filed against Democratic congressional candidate Kat Abughazaleh and others in connection to a protest at the Broadview ICE facility.
The group is accused of damaging and surrounding ICE agents' vehicles. WGN's Angelica Sanchez has Abughazaleh's response to those allegations.
This is a First Amendment issue, plain and simple.
Outside her Rogers Park campaign office, Democratic congressional candidate Kat Abughazaleh tells WGN the federal charge against her is an attack on free speech.
I and hundreds of people across Chicago have been protesting ICE as they commit crimes in our community.
On September 26, more than 100 people called for an end to the Trump administration's immigration crackdown in Broadview. Protesters were seen banging on the windows, doors, and hood of a federal vehicle attempting to get by. Tear gas and pepper balls were deployed. Federal authorities are now accusing Abughazaleh and others of surrounding and damaging an ICE agent's vehicle. They claim pig was etched into the car. We asked her about the allegations.
Look, I have been exercising my First Amendment rights within what we are guaranteed under the Constitution, and these attacks by the administration are not just governmental overreach, they're unconstitutional and they endanger us all.
Also charged are Michael Rabbitt, a 45th Ward Democratic Committee person, Catherine Sharp, running for a Cook County Board seat, as well as Andre Martin, Brian Straw, and Jocelyn Walsh. Abughazaleh is running for the 9th District seat held by Congresswoman Jan Schakowsky. Schakowsky is retiring at the end of this term. The 26-year-old has become a popular figure on social media, taking on right-wing politicians and commentators. She's already raising money for her legal costs.
Well, we've got the campaign and we have the primary in 5 months and we still plan on winning, both in court and on election day.
An arraignment date has not yet been set, but we're told it could happen in the coming days. Reporting in Rogers Park, Angelica Sanchez, WGN News.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. In that first clip you guys saw, again, that was the U.S. attorney in California talking about the charges that were levied against the individuals in California who assaulted ICE officers, ICE agents. And then the second clip is about this woman, right? And the other socialists, the extremists that are running for office. All of them are running for office, by the way, right? For the most part, which tells you everything you need to know what this is really about. This is about fundraising off of trying to impede ICE, right? And to assault ICE agents, which is the charges that she was charged with, right? Conspiracy to impede, as well as assaulting or impeding an ICE officer. So again, what you have here is these radical lunatics raising money. They're campaigning off of the crimes that they're committing against ICE in order to save the illegal immigrants, right? They're trying to pretend as if, oh, this is about saving the illegals. And it is. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I think they genuinely do want to save the illegals, right? But more so than anything, they're fundraising off of it. And they're trying to use it in order to promote their political campaigns, in order to get elected, right? That's what they're actually really doing here. And this socialist found out because the Trump DOJ said, okay, well, if that's what you're going to do, then you're going to face consequences for that, right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and laugh, right, at this woman melting down over the fact that she is now facing charges over the fact that she impeded and allegedly assaulted an ICE officer. So let's get into it.
My name is Kat Abughazaleh. I'm running for Congress in the 9th District of Illinois. And the Department of Justice is charging 6 people, including myself, with federal crimes for exercising our First Amendment rights near ICE's Broadview Processing Center. This is a political prosecution and a gross attempt to silence dissent, a right protected under the First Amendment.
It's amazing how we can catch these people on camera, right? It's on camera. This woman literally obstructing ICE, right? Impeding ICE, the vehicles from leaving the facility on camera. She brags about it. Now she's facing consequences. Oh, it's political. Well, what's political about the fact that you're on camera doing it, right? What's political about that? Nothing. This is an attack on my First Amendment right. Where in the First Amendment does it allow you to obstruct federal officers from doing their jobs, right? Where in the First Amendment does it allow that? These people are delusional, which is, again, is why they're socialists, right? Because they're not in touch with reality.
This case is a major push by the Trump administration to criminalize protest and punish anyone who speaks out against them. That's why I'm going to fight these unjust charges, but I need your help to do it. As I and others—
Here we go, raising money, right? This is the grift. I need money. right? This woman has been asking for money, begging for money on every platform she goes on. Send me money, send me money, send me money, right? It's amazing how these socialists love money, right? It's funny how that works.
Exercised our First Amendment rights. ICE has hit, dragged, thrown, shot with pepper balls, and tear gassed hundreds of protesters.
Yeah, because you're all obstructing, right? You're all breaking the law. That's why.
Simply because we had the gall to say that masked men coming into our communities, abducting our neighbors, and terrorizing us cannot be our new normal. And because Chicago doesn't back down from bullies in masks who tear gas our neighborhoods, this administration has resorted to weaponizing the federal justice system to scare us into silence. But we're not going to be silent. The Trump administration wants you to be afraid of speaking out against it and its anti-democratic power grabs. And there are plenty of reasons to be afraid right now, but we have to overcome that fear. This case targets our rights to protest, speak freely, and associate with anyone who disagrees with the government. And while we have seen the unhinged and unlawful tactics this administration has used against the American public, it's important to remember they're doing this because they are scared. They are wrong. And they know they are on the wrong side of history. We cannot diminish ourselves in the face of these attacks. That's why we have to unite and stand up for humanity, our rights, and everyone terrorized by Trump's lawless secret police. You'll be hearing regular updates directly from me about this case and how we can use our constitutional rights to resist authoritarianism. And as scary as all of this is, I have spent my career fighting America's backslide into fascism. I'm not going to stop now, and I hope you won't either.
Wow. So there we have it, right? You're going to jail, right? You're going to jail. Hopefully you go to prison for a long time. Okay, these charges better not get dropped. These charges better not get dropped. Okay, I want to see this woman get the maximum. Okay, I believe that she could be spending anywhere between 6 to 9 years. Okay, based off if she's found guilty. Yeah, she needs to spend a lot of time in prison, right? That's what she needs to do, because you got to make an example out of these people. You cannot obstruct federal officers from doing their jobs. What they're doing is legally right, and obstructing them is wrong. It's wrong. And you can't get away with it. It's not peaceful to obstruct. It's not peaceful to get in front of a vehicle and to try to push a vehicle back into an ICE facility, right? Like, you can't do that. You can't assault an officer. You cannot do that. So, again, they can live in Cuckoo for Cocoa Puff world, but we have it on film, right? We got it on video. And, again, the charges have been levied. And I'm hoping for a guilty verdict. I'm hoping that these people actually face some accountability. It's time for these left-wing extremists, these lunatics, to finally be held responsible for their crimes, right? And to send a message to these other lunatics that, hey, there's a way to protest, right? There's a way to do it peacefully, and there's a way to do it without facing charges, okay? What you can't do is to obstruct ICE and to assault them, right? You cannot do that. That is not how free speech works. That's not how the First Amendment works. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.